Here we can. Oh my God.
Isn't it? Is it really good stuff?
This whole weekend was just really stressing out.
Okay. What phase of mitosis is this? Hmm?
Prophase, right? Because there's nucleus.
What phase of mitosis is this? And why?
PMAC. It's PMAC. Metaphase and polyphase.
Well, keep on going. You get to it Sunday. It's interphase.
Interphase.
Interphase. Look at what you got. Okay. You have a completely intact nuclear membrane.
IPMAC.
You can see
And then it goes prophase.
nucleolus inside. This is now prophase.
Prophase.
Okay. Why?
The chromatin is
Starting to
Yeah.
split.
Start.
Okay. The nuclear membrane is dissolving. Okay. You're starting to see chromosomes instead of chromatin or chromatin. This is
Metaphase.
metaphase, sure, because you're seeing the
The line.
The line,
Split.
split,
metaphase plate. Now, in addition, we've got these, which are
the spindle spindle.
those are the spindle fibers. These are the
Centrioles.
centrioles. This is
Anaphase.
anaphase. You can still see centrioles. The chromosomes are moving as a group. Think of flight of geese or something like that, that kind of V shape. After anaphase is telophase, telophase, okay? The chromosomes aren't moving anymore. The centrioles are disappearing. You can see the cell is starting to split completely, but it's not 100% separated. There's still a connection through here, so this would be telophase or telophase. Tissues, tissues, tissues. This is simple squamous epithelium, exactly. This is
Simple cuboidal.
cuboidal. This is
Simple columnar.
simple columnar, okay? That is still a simple columnar, but specifically it's a
Goblet
goblet
cell.
cell releasing
Mucus.
mucus. Now, on the top, this particular arrangement of the cell membrane at the apex is
The microvilli.
microvilli, yeah. Okay. This would be stratified squamous, stratified squamous. Again, 87 different names, 87 different spellings, 87 different pronunciations. Sad to say.
Is it thick skin?
Nope, it's not skin at all.
Oh, it's not.
There's not skin at all. There's no cornified layer.
Oh,
There's no grainy cell.
that's true. Okay.
Now, what is it? Okay, won't be this semester. It's probably the lining of your esophagus, okay, which is stratified squamous epithelium, but it's not keratinized. There's no grainy cell, there's no spine, there's no cornified layer. This would be
Satellite cell?
No, that's
what tissue?
cuboidal.
What kind of
It's
cuboidal?
epithelial.
What kind of cuboidal?
Stratified.
It looks stratified.
Stratified.
Nope, it is stratified.
That's what
Stratified.
There's no pseudo about it. It's genuinely stratified cuboidal.
There's no pseudo about it.
It looks stratified.
got a couple layers. Okay, so it's stratified. There's your base, there's your apex. The apical cells are as close to cuboidal as you're going to see. This is that awful,
Pseudostratified columnar epithelium.
No, it's just static.
this is actually stratified columnar.
Really?
You're just like,
Because there's no-
There's the basal cell layer and the apical cell layer. The apical cells are all all columnar.
So this is stratified.
This is actually stratified columnar. On the other hand, this is
Pseudostratified cilium.
yeah, everybody knows that one.
close enough. Pretty good.
So,
The key again is the cilia. Okay, that's what tells you. Okay? Now, as we learned, in lecture, probably we're seeing a few little bipolar neurons along here like that, maybe like so. Okay, can't be sure, they're just hiding in plain sight. But this is the respiratory system. We have bipolar ciliated neurons for the sense of smell, so yeah, they're probably there, just hard to spot. Now from about there to there, that's
Transitional.
No.
what?
That's transitional.
Transitional.
Because of the umbrella.
Umbrella cells, yeah, these up here, this is your key. That's the one that works best, when they're bumped up like that. It's multiple layers, so it is a stratified epithelium, but the top layer being like umbrellas. Another thing, doesn't work all the time, but deep to the nucleus, there's this pale region of cytoplasm in a lot of cells. It's not like a vacuole or anything that's empty or filled with some non-cellular liquid. It's just an area where the cytoplasm doesn't pick up the dye. And it's very common in transitional epithelium. So if you see umbrella cells, boy, you're done, but just to double check, look for that pale region under, deep to the nucleus, that kind of confirmation. Don't forget, if you need clarification, like, okay, exactly what tissue are we talking about, ask. Are we talking about this? Are we talking about that? Make sure you understand. If you don't know, stop being asked. This isn't epithelial anymore. This is
Areolar connective tissue.
areolar connective. Yes, areolar. 87 different pronunciations. Yep,
Looks like birds in a tree.
Yeah.
it works fine.
That's how I remembered it.
Whatever helps you. Okay? Whatever helps you. Just have all of a sudden now I have this image of all of those little grackles. Those are the little blackbirds. They're about so. No, don't need to know that stuff. It won't help for the exam. This is easy.
Adipose.
Oh, sure. Now for a lecture, not for a lab question, what would be stored in here?
Fat.
Fat.
Lipids, fats.
No, that is.
Lipids, triglycerides, yeah, in particular. This is
Reticular.
reticular.
Oh, yeah.
And little black threads that make corners and boxes. This would be
Dense regular.
Dense.
dense regular. This would be
Dense irregular.
dense irregular. This would be
Elastic.
elastic.
Connected.
We're looking at
Hyaline cartilage.
hyaline cartilage, okay. You're right, so the cells are,
Um,
no, it doesn't start with A.
no, I have, no,
What are the-
it's part of.
What are the cells that make up cartilage of all the types? They're chondrocytes.
Chondrocytes.
Okay, and they live in little holes called lacuna. This is
Elastic.
elastic cartilage. We still have lots and lots of chondrocytes and lacunas all over the place, but we now have the fuzzy, long, black, elastic threads added in. This is
Fibrocartilage.
fibrocartilage. We have chondrocytes and lacunas, but not very many of them. There's a row of 3 here, row of 3 there, a couple over here, a couple over there, that kind of thing. And dense, irregular fibers. We start to see a pattern and then it blows up, particularly in places where there aren't any chondrocytes. That makes it fibrocartilage. This is osseous tissue or bone. Okay. From here to here, that, or there to there, those would be
Osteus.
osteons. Okay. Good. Back. The big black splotch is the
Central canal.
central canal. Okay. The little black splotches are
Lacuna.
lacunas filled with
Osteus.
osteocytes. Now, the little spider webs, those would be
Caniculi.
close enough, moleculi. You should really do it with a very bad Italian accent.
Yeah, you really got to. I know.
This is
Cardiac muscle?
smooth muscle, yeah.
I don't know.
Big nucleus right in the middle, tapers to a point at each end. And there is going to be connected, good bit of connective tissue in between that. But this is
Cardiac.
cardiac. Okay? And once again, you've got a big nucleus right in the middle and
Intercalated
intercalated
disc.
discs. Yeah, absolutely. This is
Skeletal muscle.
muscle, sure. No intercalated discs, tiny little nucleus squeezed right underneath the sarcolemma, and nothing but stripes, striations.
Body.
Spongy bones.
The
This
body.
is
The body.
spongy, and this would be compact or dense. If this is a central canal, this would be
Perforating.
perforating, yeah. Thick or thin?
Thick.
Thick skin, sure, absolutely. Now, let's go through the layers.
Cornified. Clear.
Clear,
Grainy.
grainy,
Spiny.
spiny, and
Basal.
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 Okay. Just remember, some people insist on Latin.
Listen.
Cornified and corneum, real easy. Grainy and granulosum, real easy. It's just, this one's the tricky one, that's
Lucidum.
lucidum. Looking at a hair. Okay. This is the bulb
Bulb.
or the pilla.
Papilla.
Okay.
Oh.
Bull.
That would be bulb.
Bulb.
Okay. Holding everything in place. Sheath.
Sheath.
Now the cells. Okay. All of the cells together.
Or is it?
All of the cells together.
Matrix.
Matrix. just this portion right down there, that's the medulla
Medulla.
and the outer
Cortex.
It's smooth muscle, so it's the
The character pillar.
erector pili, okay? Glands,
I know there's a popcorn.
and that's the one thing they can't possibly be is endocrine glands, because we don't talk about them this semester.
No, that's acrid.
What's that?
It's a sebaceous.
Sebaceous.
Nope, what's this?
Oh,
It's a hair, so these are
Sebaceous.
sebaceous
Sebaceous
glands,
glands.
yeah.
And those are
These are, look again,
acrid.
Oh.
acrin,
Acrin.
thick wall, narrow lumen, acrin. If they look oily, they are oily, sebaceous. These are
Acrid.
Acrin.
acrin. Relatively thin wall, really wide open lumen. Sense receptor, Pacinian corpuscle. Sense receptor,
Meissner's.
Meissner's corpuscle. Be real careful. All of this together is
Neuromuscular.
neuromuscular junction, okay? Obviously, we've got the cell membrane, or the muscle cell. Now, what part of the nerve cell is just this? Yeah, it's the motor end plate, but it's the axon terminal.
Axon terminal.
And so this would all be
Axon.
axon. Okay. But when you see the slide, you have neuromuscular junction.
Neuron.
This is a
Neuron.
neuron, absolutely.
That's a blow.
It's a
Um,
neuron.
Another neuron. Okay, so which part of the neuron is that?
Cell body.
Soma, cell body. That's the
Axon.
axon, and these are all
Dendrites.
Now, if it were me, I'd use the model, but just in case, okay, this part of the axon, just there, that's the
Axon.
Axon hillock.
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 Yeah, Hillock, it's just a Britishism, okay, for a little hill. That's all. Again, little practice, okay,
Neuron.
neuron, this part,
Soma.
cell body, those are all
Dendrites.
dendrites, and that's
Axon.
most likely. Now, we're looking at the soma, nucleus, nucleolus, and those splotches are all
Nasal body.
Nasal bodies.
yeah.
How do you spell it?
NISSL.
L, there's no E.
No, there is no E. It's
Somebody's name, right?
it's Italian, Nissel.
They couldn't put.
Except, yes, I know it says Austrian, but when it was writing, that part of Italy was controlled by Austria, and this is not a history course. And you wanna do that, go watch Rick Steves Travels Through Europe or something. He talks about neat stuff like that. Just a different slide, different view.
That's still so, or that's still.
Nucleolus,
Nucleolus.
nucleus, and all of those spots, those are the
Nasal bodies.
yeah.
The synapse.
Yes, it's a synapse, very good. Now, the parts, this part of the synapse is
Presynaptic cell.
presynaptic. This would be,
Postsynaptic.
and
Synaptic cleft.
synaptic cleft, real good.
Oligo.
Yeah, however you want it.
Slimer.
I am so waiting for that movie to come out.
am too.
You know, the original was really, really good, and this has some definite possibilities too, because some of the old guys from the previous, are supposed to be showing up as in cameos. You know, it could be some terminal silliness, well worth watching. We don't need serious, we need silly. These
Dependable.
are
Dependable cells.
dependable cells, yeah. And all
Satellite.
these little black splotches are
Satellite
satellite
cells.
cells.
Swan.
Tricky, tricky, tricky.
Swan cells. Nodal
Schwann cells and
Nodal.
this is gonna be one of those cases where making sure you know where the arrow is pointing is gonna be important. Okay. So again, ask, are we talking about the cell here? Or are we talking about the little line where two cells touch? Be sure you're comfortable with whatever's being asked. Just another example, a different slide you might see. Schwann cells and
Nodal.
not gonna be on the test, but just because. We've got the little microglia and an astrocyte. Besides which, red and green and black, pretty colors.
The brain.
All of this is cerebrum. This is
Cerebellum.
okay. This line, horizontal line, is the lateral sulcus.
Lateral.
And I'll tell you, this is the central sulcus. Therefore, this is what lobe?
Frontal.
Okay. Way back,
Occipital.
occipital,
Parietal. Temporal.
temporal. Sagittal section, okay? Here's the central sulcus right
sulcus.
along there, so this is frontal.
Frontal.
What's that groove? You couldn't see it from the outside. Parieto-occipital sulcus, real good. Okay. This is
Corpus callosum.
corpus callosum, corpus callosum. This oval, thalamus. This little triangle below it is
Hypothalamus.
hypothalamus. This long deep groove is, which one? Yes, it's a fissure, which one? What's the plane? Transverse section. Okay, so it's a transverse fissure. Okay. Well, it's close enough to transverse. Now, the whole organ, cerebellum,
Cerebellum.
the picture.
Arborvitae.
Okay, now, we've looked at the thalamus, let's look at the brain stem, okay? All of this, midbrain, all of that.
Pons. Medulla oblongata.
Medulla oblongata, okay. Let's break down the midbrain. This part is the cerebral peduncles, and this part,
Quadrum.
okay, corpora.
Corpora. Quadrigemina.
Okay.
Corpora. Corpora.
Bodies, corpora.
Corpora.
1, 2, and then the other side 3, 4, so corporal bodies, quadra 4 parts, gemina.
Gemina.
Such a big word for just a little thing.
Well, yeah, you gotta make it important.
You have to make it difficult.
It's like.
Yes, absolutely, I mean, you know, and don't forget, functionally, we can be really mean and rotten and say, okay, this, just these parts up here, superior colliculi, and these parts down there,
Inferior.
colliculi. Again, just to make it very difficult and impressive. Right. Oh, something else. in psychology, they might refer to these as a tectum, T-E-C-T-U-M. So if in psychology you hear reference to optic tectum and auditory tectum, 87 different names for the same damn thing. And just an enlargement, okay?
Pons.
Pons.
Medulla oblongata.
Oblongata.
Oh, it's level.
Okay.
That's
Cerebral
Locus.
Corpora
Quadrigemina.
quadrigemina together.
Midbrain.
Our picture.
Arborvitae.
Arborvitae. Now, I would use the models. Since I can put a piece of green tape here and a piece of red tape there. But just in case, okay, this is the fourth ventricle. What's this little channel? Cerebral aqueduct, yeah. Okay. And like I said, I would much prefer to use the models, you know, because I'm lazy. I don't want to have to point that out, but you just might see it. Be prepped. All right? Now, here's the spinal cord. There's the pons. So from about there to about there, it's the medulla oblongata. Now, just for fun, that little line is an anterior sulcus. There and there, the little flat spots, those are the pyramids where decussation takes place. How many of you are planning on going into either the RN or the respiratory therapy programs? Okay. You're going to be having to take advanced physiology, okay? And there are certain control centers that Dr. Young will be talking about in these little spots here. Those are called the olives. Me, they look more like an olive pit, but then, what the heck. So, yeah, those are more for fun than anything else, and a little preparation so that, and when you're taking advanced physio and Dr. Young starts talking about the olivarian nuclei, you don't go crazy and, oh, there's those little things in there. I knew what they were. Personally, I just go with where it narrows here and it narrows there, and that's all the medulla oblongata. Cross section of the spinal cord. Remember, our usual view of the spinal cord, the patient is prone.
Mm-hmm.
So, that groove right along there is the posterior sulcus. The patient is prone. Up is posterior or dorsal. So this group would be the anterior sulcus. Okay. White matter or gray matter?
White.
White. Okay, so this is the, well, which direction? Posterior or dorsal. And since it's white matter, it's those are columns. These would be ventral columns, and those would be lateral columns. Okay? Since this is white matter, these are
Gray matter.
gray matter. They're not columns, they're horns. So this is the dorsal horn or posterior. This is the
Lateral.
lateral horn. This is the ventral horn.
Ventral.
And what color is it?
Gray commissure.
Gray
Commissure.
commissure. Not commissioner. We'll have an election next week for commissioners, I guess, but no, this is commissioner, not commissioner.
Commissioner.
Mhm.
I got it.
What's that?
The eye,
Eye.
Pupil.
Pupil.
pupil,
Pupil.
Iris.
Kind of an oblique section, okay, what do you think that might be?
Optic.
Optic nerve, yeah, okay. So this kind of bulge out there, that'd have to be the
Cornea.
and
Sclerosis.
sclera. Not easy to spot, this is the lens, okay. So here, this opening, where you can see the lens, that's the pupil,
Pupil.
and this part would be the iris.
Iris.
I wouldn't do this on a test, okay? But that little fold right there, okay,
Blind spot.
yeah, exactly. That's the blind spot, optic disc, and that little part right there would be the macula lutea, or the fovea centralis, if you want to be, you know, what you see at that level. Me, I'd rather use one of the other slides. Like this. Remember, always, always, always know
Know where the
which
light-
direction light is coming in. In this case, it's coming in from the door. So this is the
Cornea.
cornea.
Lens.
Okay. What material is here?
That's the aqueous humor.
Vitreous humor.
Vitreous.
Or vitreous body. What material would be here? Aqueous.
Aqueous.
Okay. So this little leaf hanging down and that little leaf sticking up, that's the iris.
Iris.
And of course, that's the
Optic disc.
optic nerve. Well, whatever help you remember. Okay. This is the lens.
Lens.
Okay.
Ciliary.
Like the ciliary.
Ciliary muscles, yeah. Okay. Now, these little threads, it's not gonna be on the test, but you should know they exist. Those are the suspensory ligaments, linking the ciliary muscles to the lens so we can change the shape of the lens for focusing. Layers of the retina. Okay. Here's the choroid. So this layer is what layer of the retina is this? This is pigmented layer.
Pigment.
This layer light's coming in this direction. That doesn't change. This is the photoreceptor layer. This is the
Bipolar.
bipolar layer. This is ganglion.
Ganglion.
Let's repeat. We'll practice.
Pigmented. Photoreceptor.
Receptor.
Bipolar. Ganglion.
Maybe I should bring my wife in and she can run you guys through this using her third grade teacher voice. We've moved. We're in a different region. Okay. What are we looking at here? What's missing in that area? The ganglion and bipolar layers are missing, so that's the fovea centralis. And the spot behind it of just photoreceptor cells is macula lutea. Now this is the
Optic disc.
optic disc. What your optometrist sees,
Optic disc.
optic disc,
Macula lutea.
macula lutea. Just went over this, okay? What space is that?
Vestibular.
Vestibular
Hold on. Vestibular.
duct.
Duct.
The space,
Starts with like a T.
Tympanic.
tympanic duct, cochlear duct.
Cochlear. Organoculi.
This is the,
That's the, between the ventricle,
nope, not ventricle,
vestibular. Whoops.
yeah. Okay, so this is the
Vestibular membrane.
vestibular membrane. Okay. This thicker part is basilar membrane, yes. Now, this little thing with the toe sticking up there is the
Organoculi.
Down
tectorial
Pectoral
membrane,
membrane.
and so this is the
Organoculi.
organoculi. Little practice.
Vestibular membrane.
Membrane.
Pectoral.
there. 10 something.
This is the
Pectoral.
tectorial membrane. This is the
Organoculi.
organoculi, and this is the
Basal.
Basal
basilar
membrane.
membrane. Little more of a lecture question than a lab question, but in the vestibular membrane and the tympanic membrane, or excuse me, vestibular duct and tympanic duct, what fluid would be there?
Not the endolymphatic.
Perilymph. In the cochlear duct, it's
Endolymph.
And those are our slides.
It's 37 minutes.